We're going to highlight and shade the face. This makes a big difference for your makeup. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade it first with grease products, which you've all got if you've got your Illamasqua kit, and you can borrow your palette, which means that I'm going to use my foundation, my concealer palette. I'm going to use a cream blusher. You've all got one in your kit, haven't you, to show you how to use that. Because when I used to make up, one of the things I used to really like to do was to build up before you powder, because we're going to be using grease on grease. Do you remember I said that's what you do? So we're going to use all our grease basings, a bit more sort of foundation, concealer, cream blusher, before I powder. And then I'm going to finish it off with powder-based products, maybe a bit more blusher, maybe a bit more shader, to show you, you know, what you can do with it. Because you can use both on top of each other as long as you powder. Does that make sense to you? But guys, if you want to do an experiment and just use a powder way of shading, that's fine, or if you want to do the grease. Okay, so we've got nice makeup, great colour base, good, well done, nicely put on. Obviously it needs powder under the eyes, but we can see that. So, to shade, I have washed my hands. You can use your fingers to melt the makeup in if they're very, very clean and they've been washed. But you use a shade, 1 or 2 shades darker. You do not want to have a face that looks like it's a tribal makeup of streaks, of very much darker makeup and lighter. Does that make sense? It can pick up as very, very odd. And you use 1 or 2 shades lighter. I'm going to do the lighter first. You apply lighter makeup above the bone and darker below. Does that make sense? Because it's an optical illusion where you're bringing out and highlighting the cheekbones to make them stand out, so you put light, and to make it go away in the photograph you put dark. Okay? So I'm going to put a lighter colour on the back of my hand, then I'm going to use a brush actually, and I'm going to...
Is that foundation?
It's a concealer.
A concealer.
I'm going to use lighter concealer. Okay, now I'm going to pull up and I'm going to dot along the top of the cheekbone and into that eye area. Feeling, have a go with your fingers, only because you can really feel where the bone of the face is. As makeup artists, you've got to really get to grips with the face that's in front of you. Every face is different. Everybody's bone structure is different. Can you see there's a slight difference, or does it look a bit lifted? Yeah or no? Don't make me happy, person. Just can you see that just slightly? It's lifted. It's all about creating an illusion. You can really pick out that. You need to blend that shading right into the hairline. You don't want any makeup or shadings ending and then the hair comes up. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just highlight the nose. I'm doing the light first because I find that it actually makes it a cleaner makeup than doing it over the dark. Close your eyes. You can pull out the eye bone. You can just highlight in the middle. You can sometimes people highlight the jaw. I will today, just to, don't forget the ears. I love to get in there. You can get real instant facelift here. By doing this in the heat of the finger, you can break up all edges. It's ever so subtle. We don't want it to look like Pocahontas. Right, now I'm going to feel that bone And I'm very lucky that I've chosen somebody actually with quite a definite shadow. I'm going to emphasise that. I'm going to go 1 or 2 shades darker. And by using grease, you can actually really blend it in. Can you suck your cheeks in for me? Really get your model to do that, because that helps me find out where it should be. Just dot it underneath the bone, into the hairline, and really blend in. You can make a nose slightly shorter.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. Have you seen the picture of Kim Kardashian with all the contour? Literally, I'll find it for you. It's just got white all over her face.
Mm.
I've seen that. Have you seen it?
Have you seen a picture of her 3 years ago? She looks like a different person.
Wayne Goss does really good videos on that.
Surgery, makeup and everything. But this is the traditional sort of, I suppose, glamour, Hollywood basis of the makeup, actually. Can you see what's happening, girls? I'm going to keep holding that up.
Sorry.
Yeah? Are you seeing the definition coming out? It's subtle. Yeah, can you see that? Think where I'm putting it.
If you wanted to make the nose narrower, would you
Just about to do that. Just about to do that. Okay, close your eyes. Nose narrower. Not, guys, up on the bridge, but at the side. Can you see that's really sort of making a difference? You can shade the forehead down a bit, here. But make sure there's no hard edges. By actually shading a bit here and a bit here and leaving that light, it hopefully. Then, some people, men included, quite like a bit of shade under here. Make sure you don't go up on the face, it will look like a beard. And make sure that you blend it into the neck that has not been made up, that has base on it, okay? And does everyone know John Barrymore? I've made him up, and he likes you to paint in a cleft in his...
So it looks like it's got bum chin.
You've got one of those, but there you are. Grease soaks into the skin, so you can keep going backwards and forwards and just checking. Remember that our job is not just to create a look from the front, but from all sides. So you can turn your model to the mirror. Okay. Now, that is my beginning. Can you see? It's given a little bit more, it's not in your face, it's very subtle. Okay, so that's my beginnings. This is just the way I like to do it. So that's very subtle. Then I'm going to powder over the top, because that will set it.
What powder are you using?
I'm using just a natural translucent. One you've got in your kit. Have you got one in your kit? Yeah. Okay, close your eyes for me. I'm going to powder that. I put powder on the back of my hand so I can go. Can you just go right there for me? Make sure you've powdered well, because we're going to add powder products on top to do more of the same. And it's all about blending. Okay. If you want to, I'm going to do a powder blusher, but you could try putting a bit of cream blusher on as well as your, because I don't want to take up your time, as well as your shading, okay? So you could go shading, cream blusher, powder. But I'm going to do the rest with a powder blusher. Okay, brushes on dry. What colour powder blushes have you got this year? You should have Tremble. Have you all got Tremble?
Yeah.
And what other colours did they put in?
Ambition and Sleek.
Okay, so you've got 2 creams. Yeah. You've got a lovely. This colour's very. These apricot colours are very flattering. They're great on dark-haired people. I found that these sort of colours are better on blonde as a whole, but there's nothing to say if you don't mix them up. A bit of this and a bit of that on the back of your hand. Don't just take your makeup as is, if you know what I mean. And I also find with inner mascara, sometimes it's better to scratch it a bit and put it on the back of your hand. If you sort of go with a stick and do that, you'll find that it comes off a lot better. Okay, so I've powdered well. I'm going to get my artist to smile for me. Just really smile like an idiot. That's lovely. And I'm going to just touch a bit of blusher up on the cheeks and take it up to the forehead. Now, I hate hard edges. So, put that on there. So, say you put too much blusher on and you want to take it down, powder on the back of your hand, puff or brush, or a piece. If you haven't got puffs, you can use these little cotton things. Go over it with powder and blend in any hard edges, yeah? So that's that. You can highlight with a little bit. Have you got you haven't got any eyeshadows yet, have you? I'll get some out. For those that haven't got it, you can highlight with a lighter sort of colour if you want there. But I'm just going to build up with blusher. I'm actually going to use 2. I'm going to use that pinky one and an orangey one, just to get a really natural. Just smile again for me. If you get somebody to smile, you can really pick up. You can touch a little bit here and blend away. And powder those eyes. And have you got this one?
What's it called?
Disobey.
Yeah.
My favourite. You can shade on top of your grease-based one. It's the most amazing shading colour for under here and eyes, except if somebody's very, very pale, it can look a bit gingery, so be careful with that. But on the whole, it more or less suits everybody. Just close your eyes. You can just shade in the eyes. And if you want to blend that away, use a baby bud. We love baby buds. And put a bit of powder on it. And just get rid of any lines. Okay, so use your baby buds. I'm going to just create a little bit more under the cheek. Suck in for me, please. With a big brush you can really get in with that one, and if you powdered well, you can do that. Do a little bit more down the nose. This is just the beginning, but just get to feel the face. Oh, is it?
Don't know if
Is
my head,
it?
yeah.
Oh. Okay. I will go through it again. It's just the basis of a natural makeup. Just very little. Yeah, just little natural, soft sort of makeup. I could do a little bit more, but I'm not. Can you see the difference?